be first down for the Warriors. Terry Thomas, who has been a very important part of that running attack. He carried the ball last week against Lafayette 17 times for 90 yards and has 437 yards on the season. Here's your replay. Left tackle, and he just breaks a couple of would-be tackles there and lunges forward for extra yardage. Good second effort by Thomas. First down for the Warriors. Jordan following the blocker through the hole down close to the 16-yard line.
And that's what Tony does real good, Tim, is he fakes to the first man and it follows him through, which allows him to pick the hole, and he's picked up a lot of yardage using that particular play.
Pickup of about 5, second down and 5 for the Warriors as they have moved the ball well here in the first quarter. Capitalized on a Phoebus fumble, and now, after a poor kick, have moved the ball down inside the 20 to about the 17. And a quarterback keeper across the 15 to about the 14 for Tony Jordan.
Well, Tony thought he saw something, but the Phantom defense did a good job of closing down real quick. He did pick up a couple of yards, but I'm sure he thought he would be able to pick up that first down, Tim. Watch this thing. It looks like there's a movement there. No, we really missed the first part of that, but he just stepped to the left side and followed the left guard.
There you see it on your screen. Third down and about 2 for the Warriors. Inside handoff for Damon Roberts, and he will be close to a first down. It would appear that he has enough for the first.
And that's the call from Dozier. And we have timeout by the Phantoms. They got the group do something to stop this this drive by the Warriors and give them. You don't want to give up 14 quick points like that.
There's your replay as you see Roberts getting down close to the 10-yard line for the first down. We do have a timeout on the field, and that gives me an opportunity to remind you that you can keep on top of the latest news affecting Hampton Roads. Watch Channel 5 News with Beverly Penn every day at 1, 5, and 9 p.m. right here on Channel 5 in Hampton.
And while we do have a break and need to talk about the people that help us with the player of the game, we will have a shirt for the player of the game that is donated by the Sports Place. Sports Place is located at Hampton Woods Plaza on Big Bethel Road. Dave Chubb is the man you need to see for your screen printing needs. We also have a plaque donated by DC Engraving, which is a sample metal photo, which is one of the many quality products you'll find at DC Engraving. They are located at Tab Square on Route 17. See Dave Buckwalder at DC Engraving at 596-8850 for all your engraving needs. And we appreciate the effort from those two fine young men.
First down just outside the 10-yard line. The Warriors, in fact, can get a first down without scoring. Pass over the middle intended for number 7, Macy Brooks, but the ball was not caught by Brooks. Looked like he had a good chance to make the grab on a quick slant in, but couldn't hold on to it.
Yeah, that was a nice slant, and he did have position. He was between the defender and the quarterback is where you want him, Tim, as we watch this on replay. Just a nice short drop by Jordan, and it's right there, but the defensive man was right on top of him.
Stopping the clock with 4:58 to go. This is Damon Roberts down close to the 6-yard line.
Well, Damon did a good job of spinning out of the tackle that time of, I believe that's number 44. I believe that's Chris Moore.
Yeah.
Hit him and had a good tackle on him, and Roberts just spun out and picked up an additional yard or 2.
Brings up a third down for the Warriors. That Phoebus defense is tightening.
Watch this spin, Tim. Well, actually, Chris did a good job because he was coming from the side and just got some, didn't get full contact on him.
Jordan on the option play. Keeps the ball, flags down all over the place. He's in for the score, but we'll have to wait and see who the penalty flags will be called against.
Well, that normally is a holding call when the flags are thrown in that area, and that's a preliminary signal.
So it's going to go against the Warriors, negating that touchdown, and the holding call will back the ball up it had been enough for a touchdown. Let's see if we can pick up one of those holes. Well, it's away from the play because right now, outside of your screen, you would have seen two yellow hankies.
Against the offense, replay third down.
You can hear the referee, Bill Dozier, tell us it was holding against the offense. So that is a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. So they actually didn't lose 10 yards from what had been the line of the scrimmage, interestingly enough, since the holding occurred downfield. Third down and about 12. Jordan again looks, got a man wide open, touchdown. Macy Brooks did not make a mistake this time.
The ball was well thrown. I don't know who was supposed to pick the receiver up, but the defensive back that plays the safety position did not get over there on time. There was not a whole lot of area to get over there. And that brings up really puts the pressure on the Phantoms at this early in the game. Tim, we still got 4 minutes to go in the first half. I'm sorry, in the first quarter.
That was 9 plays, 3 minutes and 50 seconds, 35 yards. Extra point try is long enough, and it's good. So 2 for 2 on the extra point try. And the Kecoughtan Warriors, as you watch the replay of the touchdown, scored twice here in the first quarter. You're going to see Jordan this time fake the inside handoff and then just flip it to Brooks, who is wide open at the 1-yard line, and he just gallops in the end zone. No one really near him. Good play.
Well, that may have been a blown coverage on somebody. He was too wide open that time.
He was open a little earlier, but the ball was thrown behind him a little bit. But this time, Jordan took his time and made no mistake on the pass. So the Phantoms find themselves in a big hole here with 4:10 remaining in the first quarter, as the Warriors have capitalized on a fumble and a short punt. Skerritt will be the kickoff man for the Warriors. He has angled it to the near sideline each time, and this time does the same thing. Poindexter still with the ball all the way out to the 35-yard line. So Mark Poindexter getting a chance to play tonight. The senior Poindexter doing some fine runbacks on the kickoffs.
Well, that was a good one. That's the first time he got his hands on the ball. His ball's been short, been taken by the up man. The last 2 times he got the ball, did a great job, Tim. He was hit back before the 30 and carried it all the way to the 34. As you can watch here on the replay, did a nice job. Even after there, he still picks up. He was hit, that looks like picked up about 6 more yards after he was hit.
They start from the 34-yard line. First play on this series of downs, Dennis Russell carries for the Phantoms. Number 20, Dennis Russell, picked up about 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Phantoms. Russell has only carried the ball 5 times all season for a total of 18 yards. Coming into this game, I should say. And a new quarterback in for the Phoebus Phantoms. That is Philip Moore at quarterback. Torrey Edge, as we had mentioned, had been injured and was not expected to play much, if at all. He did start the ball game, but Philip Moore has come on now for the Phantoms, and this time loses yardage on the play back to the 35. Here's your replay. Philip Moore, just a sophomore, 6'1", 185 pounds. And right there to put the collar on him was Terrell Porter, number 81 of the Kecoughtan Warriors.
And that's no small man that grabbed a hold of Philip Moore that time.
3rd down and almost 10. Moore wants to pass. Decked as he throws, he completes the pass. And up for the first down at midfield.
Well, he did a great job, Tim, because he knew he was going to get hit, but he went ahead and followed through on that pass. What a big play. May give a little spark to the Phantoms. That's their first down. And they have crossed midfield and finally got into the Warrior territory.
TJ Carrington was the receiver on that play. Only the second pass he's caught all year.
You can see that Phillip Moore was decked as soon as he let go of that ball. What a nice job by the young quarterback.
First time the Phantoms are in Kecoughtan territory at the 49, into the middle of the line. Not much happening there for Carrington.
Well, I
Maybe
hope
a
there's
yard.
nothing serious wrong with Torrey Edge. He has an injured left shoulder, Tim, and he was very questionable about starting anyway. And let's hope that it's not a new injury, that it's just a soreness that he cannot do his duties at the quarterback as well as he should.
Gain of a yard on the play. 2nd down and 9 for the Phantoms. Wide receiver to the near side is Chris Russell. Moore again wants to pass, throws, contact made, and no flag. Lots of contact.
That's hard to believe that there wasn't a flag on that, but that official was right on it. So I got to be careful. I don't want to get anybody mad at me.
The only thing I can imagine is that both players caused the incidental contact. There definitely was contact. Watch as Moore goes back and sets up. And you may or may not be able to pick up the contact here. At the very end, you'll see.
Oh, there was definite contact prior. And I don't think the Kecoughtan Warrior had a shot at the ball. You have a right for the ball, but not while going through another ball player. You can't go through him to get to the ball. That was a questionable no call, but again, that's breaks of the game.
Phantoms have called a timeout, and again, in defense of the officials, they're right on top of the play. They're right there, and certainly they had a much better shot at it than we did. The clock stops with 1 minute and 1 second remaining in the first quarter. And the Kecoughtan Warriors ahead 14-0. They capitalized on a Phoebus fumble on the first play from scrimmage, and they carried it in. Damon Roberts from 5 yards out. The kick was good, and the score read 7-0. Then Brooks on a 13-yard pass play from Tony Jordan, and the extra point try again was good, and that's where we stand right now. The Warriors on top 14-0. Tim Cole and Bob Hintz bringing you this game, coming to you from Darling Stadium, and this game videotaped on the 18th of October, 1991. A beautiful night for football. Temperature in the, the low 70s, upper 60s perhaps, and a light breeze. Just a great night to come out and see a football game. And sorry to see there aren't more fans out here to support these two good teams.
That's true. Jerry Gentry, number 2, come running off the field. Tim, he was hurt, and number 4 came in for him.
Carrington on the reverse or flanker around, as you will.
Well,
went a long ways to pick up about 5 yards.
Well, Tim, one of his blockers peeled back to pick up somebody. There was nobody to pick up, and he made him hesitate a little bit, him being the runner, Carrington. Watch it on replay. Nice toss. And right here, 74 kind of gets in his way. So he said, hey, wait a minute. I want to go downfield.
Took a little too long for it to develop. Now the Phantoms are not going to kick. They're going to go 4th and 5 at the 44-yard line, trying on the hard count to get the Warriors to jump off. But Kurt Newsom's team, well disciplined, stayed still and did not jump off.
That's the 3rd timeout for the Phantoms. That means they have no more timeouts this half, and they still got 11 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Well, I have to think, and I certainly wouldn't try and second guess on Bill D, but I'd have to think he feels like this drive is important.
Absolutely.
And he needs to maintain some, or at least establish some momentum, having fallen behind by 2 touchdowns. So I certainly know the Phantoms do not want to give that football back to the Warriors.
Well, I'm sure they don't, Tim, but again, you don't want the Warriors to get it at the 44-yard line either. So, you think your offense can get them, fine, but I think Bill's making a call that I would have made, and that's as you punt it, put the Warriors deep in their own end of the zone, and maybe you can get a turnover.
Well, they will, in fact, kick the ball away, or at least it would appear they will. Okay, they will now. I've seen enough fakes recently. Tony Jordan fakes the fair catch, and the ball takes a Phoebus roll down to the Kecoughtan Warrior 11-yard line, where that's where the Warriors will start. Certainly nowhere near the field position they've had for their first two possessions, as time has run out here in the first quarter from Darling Stadium. We've played 12 minutes, and the Warriors of Kecoughtan, looking for their fourth victory of the season, lead 14-0 over the Phoebus Phantoms, as both teams will change ends of the field. Remind our viewers that our next scheduled game, and that is subject to have some changes to it, we hope, but our next game will be the game between the Hampton Crabbers and the Bethel Bruins, and at this moment on the 18th of October, both teams still very much undefeated. The Crabbers ranked number 1 in the state, the Bethel Bruins ranked number 7 in the state, and boy, what a showdown that would be if both of these teams continue on that pace on the last game of the regular season.
Tim, that reminds me of the mid-70s in 1974. The Bruins won the state championship. 75, Hampton won the state championship. 76, the Bruins won the state championship a second time. 77, the Hampton Crabbers won it again. So this goes back to that kind of rivalry people got to expecting there in the mid-70s. And if both those teams can end up undefeated going into that contest, this place will not have enough seats for all the people who would want to come in here and see that game.
We'll get back sometime a little later on here. I'll run down the current district standings for you. Right now, starting from their 11-yard line, the Warriors, with Tony Jordan keeping, gets the first down out across the 25-yard line.
Tim, I'm not sure if the Phantoms could see that or not, but Kecoughtan put 2 wide receivers to the left side of the field. There was only one defensive ball player there. One defensive player cannot cover 2 wideouts.
Pickup of about 15 yards on the play. Well enough for a first down for Tony Jordan.
Here we go. Now the same thing, but we've got another defensive man over here now.
The Warriors, not much yardage on that play, as the ball carrier was Chip Laws. Check that, Damon Roberts, rather. Gain of about, let's call it 2. Second down and about 8 for the Warriors. And again, those 2 wide receivers to this near side, that's Jamal McGee, number 26, along with Macy Brooks, number 7. Jordan wants to throw to one of them. He is in the grasp and gets away from a would-be tackler, but finally goes down after a 2-yard loss. So that Phoebus defense stiffens here and did not allow Jordan time to find an open receiver. Incidentally, we do invite you to stay tuned for our complete halftime coverage with your hostess, Karen Schuffner. Here you see Jordan trying to get back to the line of scrimmage and does not do so. Karen Schuffner will be here to bring you all of the halftime activities at the conclusion of our ball game. We do want you to make note of that we will have the halftime band activities at the conclusion of the fourth quarter.
We've got a nice young lady up here you just talking about, Tim.
Damon Roberts on the handoff, a late flag in the backfield. A late flag after the play, and it's going to be a holding call well after the run had been executed.
I mean, it was way after the young man had already picked up the first down when the flag came out, but I could see the 2 ball players that were engaged in a combat, if you will, at about the 25-yard line. So that's going to take it back to about the 14.
Let's see if we can pick that up. Here you see
holding,
the delayed handoff.
The offense.
Now the holding is occurring.
Right about
now. But that's irrelevant, as the referee was right on top of the play and called the penalty in the backfield.
We have a timeout.
The Warriors have taken a timeout.
While we have a timeout, let me again go over the player of the game that you and I will select a player of the game from each one of these teams. And we will give a T-shirt to the player of the game, and this is donated by Sports Place, which has a new location in Hampton Woods Plaza on Big Bethel Road. Dave Chubb is the man you need to see there for all your screen printing needs. We'll also be given a plaque donated by DC Engraving. And Tim, I don't know if you know it or not, but DC Engraving has moved.
Oh,
yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes, they moved. They're now at 1700 Route 17 at Tab Square.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir. And Dave Buckwalder is the young man that runs that place, owns it, and he's donates the plaque, which is a sample of metal photo. We appreciate the efforts of those two fine gentlemen.
So far in the first half, Moore has thrown two passes and completed one of them. Jordan is also one of two for the Warriors, trying to throw the third one, and that ball is up for grabs. Macy Brooks was the intended receiver, and he took a pretty good hit. Out on the pass defense was T.J. Carrington, number 21.
No, number 11 is the one that made the contact, Tim. That was Maury Price. Maury did a great job of timing because he hit the receiver as the ball got there. As you'll see right there, boom, that's number 11 that comes in and was really responsible for that being an incompleted pass.
Along with Carrington.
Yes,
but
Carrington.
Yeah, you're right. Maury Price was the key defender on that play. Back in deep punt formation now. The Phantoms have gotten some defense. They needed it, and a little bit of break on that holding call. A huge high kick, and a ball fumbled, and no possession out of bounds, so it will belong to the Phantoms, I believe.
You talk about hang time. That ball was up there a long
kick.
time. It was really up there a long time.
If that was Todd Pope, and I believe it was, he just got about a 4.5, 5 second hang time. That ball was way up there. The best punt I've seen so far this season. We'll watch the replay. It is Todd Pope, the left-footed kicker. You see that great extension he got, and I mean that ball hung, and Maury Price was down there to feel the. Look at this. I mean, and then he couldn't believe it. And he said, "All these white jerseys near me." He says, "I better bat this thing out of bounds."
What a nice call by Bill D to go ahead and punt that ball, Tim, because they've got great field position. They be in the. I don't know about that call.
Bill D didn't call for the punt, did he? No, you said Bill D.
No, Bill D punted before when they put Kecoughtan back in at their end at the end of the field and ended up with a good field position. But now the official is calling intentional grounding, which I thought he was in the grass, but there was a receiver there that he threw the ball to, and unless that happened to be a lineman.
Pass against the offense. Lost it down, second down.
Well, now the referee, you may have heard him say an illegal forward pass.
So that must have been to a lineman rather than to an offensive receiver.
And one of the officials, the timekeeper up here, shaking his head in agreement. That's exactly what the call was. So 35-yard line is where Phantoms will have the ball. Second down and a ton. And heads-on contact, Chris Moore met a couple of Warriors and was not to be denied the 40-yard line as he struggled for 5 tough yards.
Tim, he was hit 3 or 4 times and did not stop. And there's a good example of keeping your legs moving, and you will continue to pick up yardage.
I was hoping we might get a chance to see that play with the penalty again, but I'm not sure we have that.
And,
so we'll.
And you asking slow-mo to get you 3 times?
Yeah, I might. Slow-mo Joe is. I was looking for that illegal forward pass play, but I think we've put that one in the can probably. Ball just shy of the 40-yard line. Chris Moore is faked to, and then Philip Moore is decked by number 73, Aaron Wharton. The Kecoughtan Warriors defense now stiffening and setting up a 4th down for the Phantoms. Of course, that big penalty also a problem for Phoebus.
Well, that was a big call, Tim, because not only did you lose a lot of yardage, but you lost the down as well.
The Phantoms have to get all the way down across the Kecoughtan 39-yard line, and they are at their 34. So kick is a low kick, but good coverage by the Phoebus special teams. The ball is down inside the 25-yard line, so a real fine-looking kick. He says he's got the one I want.
Are you going to bite?
Sure, I'll bite. Hey, Slow-Mo Joe is my buddy here. Let's go. Let's see if we have that illegal forward pass that occurred. All right, here's the situation where Moore is bound. That's right. Threw it to a man who is not an eligible receiver. Thank you, Slow-Mo. You're back in my graces.
Great camera work.
And good kicking game by both teams right now. This one has the Warriors starting from their 24-yard line. Tony Jordan at quarterback. Inside handoff goes to Damon Roberts, and Roberts gets out to the 25-yard line before he's driven back. A yard gain on the play. Clock moving with 7:25 remaining in the first half. Kecoughtan scoring on their first two possessions. Here's a replay. You'll see the handoff to Roberts.
Well, that's a trap play. The big tackle from the other side, number 77, pulled to trap, but Phoebus did a great job, Tim, of plugging up that middle.
Cedric Brown, number 50, in on the stop for the Phantoms. Jordan, no place to go, as a host of Phoebus tacklers there to stop him dead in his tracks. And again, a fine defensive effort by the Phantoms. Among others, number 58, Stefan Jamerson is there. And about 3 other teammates were there as well. Here's the replay. You'll see Jordan never really got untracked on this play. He took a short drop, wanted to go along the line of scrimmage, and it just wasn't there. And among others,
he moved the other side because there was 2 or 3 blue shirts coming at him.
Elliott Jones, number 41, in on the stop as well. Third down at about 13-14 for the Warriors. Jordan on the halfback draw. Roberts trying to get outside, gets away from one tackler, yet another tackler, still on his feet, and it's a foot race down the sideline. Roberts, a late flag goes down. Now another late flag, as well. We'll see what these calls are. But
well, I believe there was an illegal block by the Warriors after one of the Warriors that was falling to play. We'll see. It's a clip. Yes.
Going to be a clip against the Warriors, but not before the Warriors got more than enough for the first down, all the way down to the 19-yard line. But the flag will wipe out some of that. We'll listen to Bill Dozier in just a moment. He'll tell us. Roberts right here looks like he's dead, but he just never stopped moving those legs. And we'll see if we can pick up the clip right in here. Well, you can't see it there.
We have clipping during the run, out of bounds.
So an out-of-bounds clipping is what they were calling. But the Warriors will have a first down at the Phoebus 45-yard line. Fine-looking run by Damon Roberts. Inside handoff, nothing happening on that play.
Stefan Jamerson did a great job, Tim, coming across. He was there about the time the offensive running back got to the line of scrimmage. He ran right into Stefan.
Terry Thomas, there you see the replay stacked up right at the line of scrimmage for maybe a half a yard at the very most. 5:28 remaining. Clock moving here in the first half. Kecoughtan with the ball and a 2-touchdown lead. Tony Jordan. And again, Jordan is stopped and wrapped up very nicely by, once again, Elliott Jones, number 41, who has really been doing a fine job on defense for the Phantoms. So the loss is back to the 48-yard line, 49-yard line. Here's your replay. Again, you'll see the fake inside handoff, and Jones is getting there after the fact, because really the man who made that big play looked like Larry Hardy, number 82.
Well, we now have a second timeout by the Warriors in this half, Tim. they're not going the direction they want to go. Every time they seem to get ready to pass, the Phantoms are putting a lot of pressure on Jordan, and he can't get away from the on-rushing lineman. Tim, the field is in great condition, but I do notice that there are some of the young men are doing some slipping down there. It is a little bit treacherous, and on that last,
we had about 4 inches of rain on Thursday.
But that last run, the big run by the Warrior, there was a lot of missed tackles, and it was because the people tried to change directions and couldn't get their feet underneath them and slipped all the fairness to the Phantoms. But I don't want to take anything away from the great run by the Warrior, too. That was, who was that?
It was Damon Roberts.
Damon Roberts did a great job.
You got the wrong team.
I always got the wrong one. There he is, number 5.
Phantoms 3-2, 4-2 overall. The 2 losses to the 2 undefeated Peninsula District teams, Hampton and Bethel. Kecoughtan is 3-3, and 2 of their losses at the hands of those same Hampton and Bethel teams. Ball is at the 49-yard line of Phoebus. 3rd down and about 13. Jordan, quick pass for Thomas. Thomas can't hold on to the ball. Very close to a lateral, but in fact it was a forward pass. And it'll bring up a 4th down with the clock stopping at 4:49 to go in the half.
Well, if you're the Warriors, you want to see another great punt by Todd Pope. I mean, he can really put that ball in the air. Watch the replay. It's just like a quick screen almost, but it's just like a one-on-one, and you can see that was not a lateral. In fact, it was a forward pass. Good call.
Give you an idea of how well things went last week for the for the Warriors. They did not even punt once against Lafayette. Pope turns this one over, gets a good roll again inside the 20 down to about the 17 or 18-yard line. So the Phantoms will start there, trailing 14-0. Clock is restarted by Bill Dozier, the referee for tonight's game. 4:33 and the clock moving. Phantoms will send to the near side of the field number 2, Gentry Harrelson, and then they'll have that wishbone backfield. First man through is Chris Moore. Moore for a couple of yards out close to the 20-yard line.
If you're Phoebus, Tim, you'd like to get something going, get a drive going, get a little momentum going anyway. With less than 4 minutes to go in the first half, you would like to pick up a few first downs, get your confidence back, and you come back out the second half. And 14 points is not a big obstacle to overcome by these Phantoms.
Again, a short gain on the play, maybe a yard this time.
But what you lose not having Torrey Edge in there is a lot of speed and headiness on that quarterback running that wishbone. You got certain T's you got to look at. Torrey's done a great job, but being injured, got the new young quarterback in there.
Philip Moore, the sophomore, getting his baptism under fire.
I wanted to say Chris Moore, but it's not Chris, it's Philip.
And 3 yards and, 3 downs and not enough for a first down. A gain of maybe a half yard on that play. Brings up a 4th down for the Phantoms. So 3 running plays to the middle of the line. Not much happening for the Phantoms. That Kecoughtan defense stiffening.
Well, and they didn't do anything fancy down there, Tim. You're too close to your own end zone to do something silly. Turn the ball over with a young quarterback.
Philip Moore, that young quarterback, is also the punter. As I mentioned before, DJ James is injured. He gets the kick away. And it gets a Phoebus roll as the ball will be downed at the 42-yard line of Kecoughtan with 2:18 remaining in the first half. Neither team able to do much since early in the first half. Kecoughtan scored on their first 2 possessions. First play from offense or rather from the line of scrimmage, the Phantoms fumbled the ball, and the Warriors took it right in and made it 7-0. And then after another series of downs, the Phantoms had a short kick to the Warriors, and they drove 35 yards for their second score, and that's been all the scoring here in the first half. Two wide receivers to either side for the Warriors. Jordan wants to pass, throws, got a man open, and did he hold on to it? I believe he did.
Yes,
at the 41-yard line.
Number 16, Tim. That's Aaron Hendrickson. He's the tight end, and he was hit as the ball got there, but he hung on.
Hendrickson with 5 catches for 63 yards this season. Had 4 catches in one game against Menchville, but gets the first down at the 40. Draw play, Terry Thomas. Thomas around the right side, out of bounds, but not before again getting a first down for the Warriors. Terry Thomas showing his quickness to get outside. So the Phantoms, or rather the Warriors, mixing the plays up, a pass over the middle and then a draw play to Thomas. We'll see this one again, or at least the very end of it, as Thomas is dragged out of bounds by Carrington. But again, another first down for Kecoughtan at the 30. 1:34 remaining.
Well, the reason that play didn't go is Stephon Jamerson was in the backfield again from that nose guard position. He was back there and soon after the snap of the ball, Tim.
The Warriors going without a huddle. They have just one timeout remaining. Second down and about 8. Jordan back to pass. Man open at the 21-yard line. That is Terry Thomas on the grab. Check that, 26 rather, which is Jamal McGee, not Thomas 25.
Smoke!
And that will be close to a first down. It's third down and about a foot on the draw play. And not a first down, as the ball carrier was Gentry Harrelson on the draw play. Now the Warriors call their last timeout with 41 seconds remaining.
Big number 87, Tim, for the Phantoms. Made that tackle. I don't have his number here.
All right, we have his number, but we haven't got his name, so we'll work on
that's
that.
what
We'll
I don't
return
have.
after a brief timeout with the conclusion of our first half.
Hey, play defense!
AC Bill D yelling to his team, play defense. You can hear him quite clearly, exhorting his defense to hang in there. Fourth down and about 2. They're going to try a field goal. This will be a 39-yard attempt. It is up and no good. It's wide to the left. So the 39-yard field goal attempt by Jeremy Skurrit is no good.
And I think
the
we've
Warriors
got a
give the
name
ball
to
over.
go with number 87. I think his name is Lewis.
Lewis, okay.
I got that from Bob
You
Kelly.
got a Johnny Lewis who is 89. Maybe that's his number for tonight. There you see the kick. It looked like it was just about long enough, but it was wide to the left. So the touchback brings the ball out to the 20-yard line for the Phantoms. Just 36 seconds remaining. No timeouts for either team. And bursting up the middle is Chris Moore. Moore trying to find a blocker. He's got one, and he will go out of bounds at the 31-yard line. I look around and I do not see any flags. Chris Moore just blew right through the middle of that line.
Well, I don't know if Phoebus, if Kecoughtan was thinking, let's just play loose because the half is almost over. But Chris Moore says, hey, I'm not done. He did, Tim. He blew through that line of scrimmage like he was shot out of a cannon. And with 25 seconds to go, it puts a lot of pressure on this Phoebus offense because they have no timeouts left.
31-yard line, first down. Philip Moore wants to pass, got a man open. He's got the ball inside the 15-yard line, but no timeouts remaining, 17 or 18 seconds. Now they will stop the clock while they move the chains. So this is a break for the Phantoms. There you see, and now it's restarted with 17 seconds. The Phantoms get lined up very quickly. Philip Moore over the middle, completes the pass inside the 5 at the 3. And that will be close to a first down.
We got a flag, Tim.
Chris Russell was the receiver on the play, but an ineligible receiver downfield will negate the fine effort.
Well, this will give Bill D a chance to get his field goal kicking unit out there and perhaps get a field goal.
Bill Dozier will mark off the penalty against the Phantoms. There will be 7 seconds.
Eligible downfield against the blue.
Dozier will crank it up, and the clock is running. The kick is up. It's long enough, and it's good.
Oh, wow, Tim, as the time expired.
One runs out. Phantoms score 3 points. They won't go into the locker room empty-handed.
Well, there's a lot of pressure on that kicker and that holder, Tim.
And
What
I
a job.
apologize, I did not pick up, in all the haste, I did not pick up who the field goal kicker was.
Number 80, Tim.
Was it 80?
That's Sean, I believe that's who
Jeff
it was.
Herman. Jeff Herman, okay.
Yes.
So a 37-yard field goal by Jeff Herman as time ran out. And the Phantoms get on the scoreboard just at the last second. This is the run we saw that set this up. This was Chris Moore's run where he just burst through the line, had about 3 Kecoughtan Warriors there. You see them all kind of circling, and I'm looking how Chris very wisely tries to pick up a block here and does do so.
Well, and
Picks
he
up a
goes
good
out of
15
bounds
to 20
too,
yards.
Tim, which was really smart for Chris. He stayed right up there and then got run out of bounds, so he stopped the clock, even though it was going to stop at the first down marker. But what a great job of using the last 20-some seconds of this half.
The Phantoms had not moved the ball well at all in the first half, and then in the matter of a short period of time, we'll try and get that for you. But we're going to show you one last play. This is the pass play that got them a first down close enough for the field goal. Here you see it, and he was about ready to take a good lick.
Well, that was a great job of concentration by the end that time to make that catch.
Chris Russell. All right, we're at halftime. Our score at halftime, Kecoughtan 14, Phoebus 3. We'll return with third quarter action after a brief timeout. Well, we're back here at Darling Stadium, just about set to get the second half underway. The Phantoms will be kicking off after having had Jeff Herman hit a 37-yard field goal to close out the first half. Again, a short kick taken at the 32-yard line and out across the 40 with excellent field position, Devin Roberts for the Warriors. Halftime statistics find the Phantoms with 3 first downs, 8 for Kecoughtan. 1 of 5 on third down efficiency for Phoebus, 5 out of 8 for the Warriors, 63%, which is outstanding. Total net yards, 79 for Phoebus, 155 for the Warriors. Rushing yards, 45 for Phoebus, 117 for Kecoughtan. And we'll get back to some more individual statistics as time allows. This is the handoff, Damon Roberts out across the 45 before he's dragged down. Speaking of Roberts, he led the rushers for the Warriors in the first half, had 66 yards on 6 carries. Jordan 9 carries, a total net of 28 yards. Thomas 4 carries for 22. Laws twice for a yard, and Fox once no gain. Here's your replay of Damon Roberts as he picked up about 4 yards on the play. Second down, and let's call it 6. And this is Thomas for a yard, maybe.
Big number 58 for the Phantoms, Tim, was in on the middle, was actually dragging the runner back, and that's Stefan Jamerson. He's been doing a good job defensively from that nose position.
Jordan 3 out of 6 for 38 yards in the first half. And of course that one touchdown. Here's the replay as you see. Thomas thrown back after a gain of a yard or so. And officials stoppage and play for equipment check, which will give me a chance to tell you that the Phantoms' leading rusher was Chris Moore. But he got 47 of his 55 yards on that one carry to set up the field goal. Carrington, 6 carries for 7 yards, Poindexter 1 for 3, and Moore carried 3 times a minus 20 yards because of the sacks. Third down.
Fumble, Tim.
Fumble on the play. And he'll say Kecoughtan will retain possession, but it will be 4th down.
That was a real close call for the Warriors. Number 18, Tony Jordan come up with the ball, and we have an injured player on the field. It looks like it could be Stefan Jamerson. I'm not sure. No, it's not. It's I see a 4 on the back of his shirt.
Let's not speculate. We'll wait a minute and see if we can see the fumble. You can see the fumble occurring there, and then they scramble for the football. And we did not see who recovered the ball, but it is, in fact,
it was Tony Jordan that ended up with the ball. Yeah.
Passing in the first half, Philip Moore, 2 out of 3 for 34 yards. Edge, no completions, 1 attempt, 2 of 4 as a team for just 17 yards for the Phantoms. Receiving, Carrington, 1 catch for 16, Russell 1 for 18, those coming late in the first half. The scoring, Roberts a 5-yard run at 9:55 of the first. Brooks a 13-yard pass from Jordan. Both extra points by Skirrett.
That is Stefan Jamerson, and it's good to see him up, Tim. He'll have to come off the field for at least 1 play.
And the final scoring, Herman 37 yards out as time elapsed in the first half. So the punter, Todd Pope, will be standing back inside of his 35-yard line. 4th down and about, well, almost 3. Left-footed kicker doesn't get the height he did earlier, but he gets a good roll. And it's a Kecoughtan bounce to the 28-yard line, where the Phantoms will have possession and will attempt to get back in the score column. A flag down on the play. I did not see it initially, but I see it now.
I didn't either till right now, and I'm not sure what the flag was.
Bill Dozier, the referee, will indicate and then tell us. It's a dead ball foul. And he and the other official will discuss it at further length before divulging the situation.
Well, it looks like it's against Phoebus. They're moving back, so personal foul against the Phantoms. And boy, that will really hurt you. You're coach on the sideline, and you got the ball, and you're in decent field position. It's not great, but it's decent, and then they're going to throw half the distance to the goal line on you. It really puts you in a hole to start with.
Well, I don't think it's quite that far, I don't believe, or maybe it is. It's dead foul, so they'll set up the...
well, Tim, it'll be a first down, and then you go half the distance.
Yep.
Down to, what's that, about the 13, 14-yard line.
Dead ball, personal foul against the offense, 1st down.
So what had been pretty good field position out at the 26-yard line, and on top of that, they set the yard marker, so now you're 1st and about 25.
That really hurts. Chris Moore on a nice handoff, Tim. Woo, what a yardage he picked up there. Picked up at least 15. Who was that? Looked like, was that Carrington?
It was not Moore. In fact, it
21.
was Carrington.
Yeah, Moore was on the handoff. Not Chris Moore, but Philip Moore.
Right.
Keep these 2 young men straight.
Gain is out to the 27-yard line. So they got back the 13 yards that they lost on the penalty. It's 2nd down and 10 for the Phantoms. Moore wants to throw. He's got the man behind the defense. Inside the 30-yard line, that is Chris Russell. Philip Moore, this young man, this sophomore, who has come in for the injured Torrey Edge, has sparked the Phantoms.
He really has. Tim, let me tell you a little bit. He's an honor roll student, just a sophomore, but he was also Citizen of the Month and was honored as Citizen of the Month today at a luncheon. So that young man is showing quite a bit of poise out there because he gets hit about every time he throws the ball. He gets hit.
Huge gain down inside the 30-yard line. Fumble. And I do believe the Warriors have it. Yes, they do. So just when things were looking up for the Phantoms, the fumble occurs and the Warriors take over.
Well, I didn't see who was the recipient of that fumble. Maybe we got it on replay, maybe we don't. There's a good shot of Bill D. talking to his young quarterback.
Here's the
right
replay.
there, the fumble happened on the fake to the dive man, it looked like, Tim.
So the Warriors get a break. The momentum had truly shifted for the Phantoms. But now let's see if the Warriors can make hay with this situation. A good defensive effort by the Phantoms prevents much of a gain on the first play. That was Damon Roberts on the carry. Excuse me, that's Laws, rather. Chip Laws. Gain of a couple of yards. Here we see ground level all the way. Ground level for Chip Laws.
And he ran into a lot of blue-shirted Phantoms.
And the last one to finish him off was Casey Doggett. Not much happening on this play either.
Tim, I was talking to Mr. Washington, Clay Washington is the principal of the Phantoms, and I said they look a little flat this first half. He says it's the uniforms. I said, what do you mean? He said, the last time we wore these uniforms, we got beat 40-some points. And he says, I don't know why we're wearing them tonight. You talk with superstition goes all the way up.
37-yard line is where they mark it. Third down at about 6 for the Warriors. The Phantoms trying to put the stop on them. Jordan, quick look-in pass, incomplete. We look around, I do not see any flags. The intended receiver on the play was 16 Eric Hendrickson.
T.J. Carrington was a defensive back on that play, Tim, that did a good job.
We'll see this again on the replay. Jordan with just a 1 or 2 step drop, and then you saw T.J. Carrington there on the defense. Pope again to punt, the left-footed kicker, short kick, and it hits the Phoebus player. That ball is live. It belongs to the Warriors.
Oh, wow, what a bad break for the Phantoms. They can't get anything tonight. He was going to try to catch the ball, said, well, I can't catch it, so I'll just run by it. And the ball took the bounce and hit the Phantom, turns the ball over. Watch this.
It hit Morey twice, and it's not a fumble, it is a muff. And this is what happens is the ball hits him in the leg, and then it's a live ball. Once he has touched the ball, it is live. So the Warriors will capitalize. Handoff flag down on the play. Damon Roberts for about 6, but a flag down holding against the Warriors.
Big number 68, the Linwood Jones, was one of the tacklers that time. But we're having a lot of flags now. Kecoughtan gets a good move, and then they get a penalty. Phantoms get the ball in good position, and they get a big penalty.
Holding on the offense, replay first down.
Talk about something that'll stop a drive quicker than anything is a penalty or a turnover. And both teams have been plagued by the penalties tonight. The Phantoms have turned the ball over.
You heard Bill Dozier tell you the ball is marked at the 49-yard line. It's first down and about 20 for the first down. Actually, first down at about 22. Now an official's timeout for equipment.
And that's number 54, Pete McKinney, going off the field as the center. I don't know what's wrong with something wrong with his equipment, I guess. They've got a new center in there right now. Number 6, was that 63, I believe it is.
6 minutes remaining in the third quarter. We've had no scoring here in the second half. Jordan is wrapped up and sacked back at the 43-yard line.
And guess who? Stephon Jameson, who has been a thorn in the side of the Warriors offense all night.
All the way back to the 44-yard line.
For the Warriors.
So the Warriors headed in the wrong direction. Here's your replay. Jordan drops back, takes a deeper drop than he normally does, but good defensive coverage downfield, and he just has to eat the football.
Yeah, that's really what happened.
44-yard line, second down and 30. Jordan on the quarterback draw. Bixson bobs his way out to about the 49-yard line. It'll bring up a third down and major yardage. Picked up about 5 on the play. It'll be third down and let's call it 25. You see Jordan now, he'll take a short drop back. It's the quarterback draw all the way. He never really intended to throw the ball. But that Phoebus defense was not really fooled by the play and was very alert to the situation. Ball is marked at the 49. The Warriors have to get all the way down to the 32 to get a first down. So it's third down and about 19. Jordan throws at the 49-yard line. The catch made by number 26, Jamal McGee, but tremendous distance from the first down. You have to question the call when you make a catch that only gives you 4 yards. You need 29.
You got that.
So it's fourth down now and about, well, let's see. I got to get a calculator out here to figure out what it is.
Well, it looks like about 21, Tim.
Fourth down about 21 is a safe bet. 19, as my good buddy Gary Moore to my left says. Pope has done a lot of kicking in this third quarter. Gets a huge high kick. Takes a tremendous Kecoughtan bounce all the way down to the Phoebus 10-yard line. So Todd Pope got great height on the ball and then got a good roll to boot.
We have an injured player on the field, Tim.
For the Phoebus Phantoms down on the play. Here you see the kick just skied the ball and then got a tremendous roll afterwards. I mean, this ball had great hang time again. It took a great Kecoughtan bounce all the way down to the Phoebus 10. Got an injured player at the 43-yard line. I'm not sure. And let's see if we can pick up. It is, in fact, number 32. That is Casey Doggett limping off the field, but we're happy to see him coming off the field in pretty good shape. Let's hope he'll be able to return. So the Phantoms now starting in bad field position at their 10-yard line, trailing 14-3 with 3:41 remaining in the third quarter.
Everybody block.
Wishbone
Everybody
formation.
block.
Harrelson
Block,
to the
block, block, block.
same play they had the big gainer on before. This is Chris Moore. It's going to be a foot race. He's not the fastest player on the field, and he will get caught, I do believe, from behind inside the 10-yard line.
Down about the 6-yard line. What a great run by Chris Moore.
The Phantoms have found a weakness in the defense that allows them to get that quick hitter.
Well, Tim, that was was that the 10-yard line?
Yes, it was.
That's an 85. Oh, well, no, that's, yeah, 85. Wow. Watch this.
84-yard run. And he had a 47-yarder late in the first half. There you see Winston Fox getting a little boost from his teammate.
He really did.
He got a little shove to get him. Back to the live action. Touchdown.
Touchdown. Chris Moore. That'll put a little lively step in your giddy up there.
That was T.J. Carrington on the touchdown.
I'm sorry, I thought it was Moore. Carrington, great job.
That touchdown comes with 2:57 remaining in the third quarter. The Phantoms had horrible field position. They were at their 10, and it looked like they were in deep trouble, and all of a sudden Chris Moore goes 84 yards and sets up TJ Carrington for a 5-yard scamper to make this game a 5-point difference. And an injured player on the field. I cannot make out at this point who that player is. 51 seconds is all it took. 90 yards, 84 of them by Moore and 6 unofficially.
That's number 21, Tim. That's
Carrington.
Carrington was on the touchdown. Watch this long run again by Philip Moore. Breaks through the line. Chris Moore. And does a good job of stepping out of tackle. Got a nice downfield block that time. And had this number 23 hadn't got a little shove, he may not have caught him.
Right here, Winston Fox gets a little boost.
And boy, he put on the afterburner.
Like an afterburner, that's what it looked like. Herman will try the extra point out of Philip Moore's hold. The kick is up, and it is good. So very quickly, the Phantoms roar downfield, 90 yards on 2 plays. Capping the 84-yard run by Moore is a 6-yard run by Carrington to make the score now 14-10 in favor of Kecoughtan. So you sped him up. Our director
that's funny.
Having a little fun with Slow-Mo Joe and the rest of the
He was good. Slow-Mo just sped him up a little bit. It was not slow on that one.
It was Fast-Mo Joe. So Chris Moore having a career on 2 runs tonight. He has those 2 runs alone, if I figure my math, of about 135 yards on 2 carries. That's a pretty phenomenal average. Kickoff. Downfield, Chip Laws, flag into the pack. A flag down.
A lot of missed tackles over on that sideline. We got another injured player on the, no, he gets up. But we do have a flag that looks like that's back at, what's that, about the 40-yard line. Watch the replay of this, Tim.
That's the area where you would see an illegal block. Here we see the kick is going to be taken at the 20. This is Chip Laws. Right about at this area is where the flag goes down. Don't see any penalty yet, but you will see a...
Well, that's 4 tacklers that he gets away from right there. But the illegal block or whatever the call is, have you heard the call yet?
Not yet. We have not heard from referee Dozier. He and his crew are discussing, I would imagine, the placement of the ball. But they will tell us in just a moment. We're not able to pick
I think
up
it's 2 of them. It's a personal foul and a clip. There's 2 penalties, both against the Warriors.
Well, can they assess 2 penalties?
I don't know. We will see. I'm not going to say anything.
It's a clip during the run back.
Oh, it must be a dead ball foul, Tim. The other one, because they're going to go half the distance to the goal line here.
Mercy. Well, that answers my question. Yes, they can assess 2 penalties.
Dead ball, personal foul against the offense. First down.
All right, we'll get a chance to see on the replay how the player was hurt on the play. Right in there, you can see the clip. There you see number 12, it looks like, for Kecoughtan, clipping or hitting from behind.
He was already down. I don't know what happened on that, but
and the player's still down.
Yeah,
on
he's
the
still
sideline.
down over on the far sideline. And it looks like it's 20, number 28, Tim.
For which team?
For the Phantoms, I'm sorry.
That would be Dion Marrow, if that is the 28 for Phoebus. Let's hope he's only winded on the play. He's off the field of play. I'm not quite sure why the game has not resumed.
Well, because the coaches for the Phantoms are over there on the Kecoughtan sideline.
That's a good reason. I can't see because of the huddle around there.
But there are a couple of the Phantom coaches are over there. And that is number 28, Tim. While we got a break in action, let me talk a little more about the player of the game, because we're going to be reaching that point very soon. And we will be given a plaque to the player of the game, and this is donated by DC Engraving, which has moved to a new location at Tab Square on Route 17. The plaque is a sample metal photo. Dave Buckwalder is the young man you need to see there for all your engraving needs, and that's at 596-8850 if you want to call him. The t-shirt that will be given to the player of the game is donated by Sports Place, which is at a new location at Hampton Woods Plaza on Big Bethel Road. Dave Chubb is the man that you need to see down there for all your screen printing needs, and his number is 850-9902.
Well, they're still attending on the far sideline to the injured player. And,
well, Coach Bill D is one of the coaches over there. I don't know who the other coach is.
While they're doing that, let me bring the fans up to date on some of the statistics for this game. Individually, Chris Moore, with those two great runs of his, now has 6 carries for 152 yards. 2 of them of tremendous length, 47 on one and 84 on the other. Carrington 7 carries for 13 yards, Poindexter 1 for 3, and Moore has run 4 times and has a negative 24 yards. Roberts leads on the Warriors side of the rushing category. He's got 7 carries for 71 yards, his longest being 61 yards. Jordan 12 carries for a net of 28. Thomas 5 carries for 23. Laws 4 times with the football for a total of 5 yards. I might check with our director and see if he wants us to take a break. Okay, we're going to take a break. We'll return to Darling Stadium when we have an opportunity to continue the ball game. We'll return to Darling Stadium. The score, Kecoughtan 14, Phoebus 10. We'll be right back.
WHCS, Cable Channel 5.
Back at Darling Stadium, Dion Marrow has been taken to the ambulance, and hopefully he's going to be all right. We understand he has some pain in his neck, and they wanted to be very cautious, so they have taken the precaution to put him on a stretcher. And hopefully he will be all right. We certainly send our very best.
Oh, I tell you, it really makes your heart stop when something like that happens. Kecoughtan has got a long way to go, Tim. That personal foul coming at a dead ball foul, so they had a 1st and 23. Jordan had the ball on the keeper that time, picked up some yardage, but they're deep in their own territory.
Gain of about 5 on the play. 2nd down and 18 for the Warriors. Fumble on the exchange.
It looked like Jordan got his own snap. Tim, what really happens at this point, there's been a long time in between the stoppage of play before we got started back up, and these young men were all warmed up and were playing, and then you have a tendency to cool down, and you lose a little of your sharpness, and that could very well have happened, the exchange that time between the center, Pete McKinney, and the quarterback, Tony Jordan.
Kecoughtan scored their 14 points in the first half. Phoebus has scored 7 here in the second after getting a field goal at the buzzer, or at the gun, I guess you could call it, to end the first half. Jordan has a man open, can't get it to Macy Brooks. Brooks the intended receiver up around the 40-yard line, and that'll bring up a 4th down. And Todd Pope will come on for yet another punt.
Todd Pope has really kind of been a thorn in the side of the Phantoms. He has done a good job punting the ball tonight as we watched the replay, and it was just a little bit overthrown, intended for the receiver, number 7 for the Warriors, Macy Brooks. And another nice kick by the left-footed kicker. Gets a nice Kecoughtan bounce, but Phoebus is going to end up with great field position, Tim.
So they mark the ball at the 43-yard line, where the Phantoms will take over, trying to regain the momentum that they had going for a while. That's 4 punts for Pope so far this evening, and he's averaged 32 yards per kick, while Moore, his counterpart, has averaged, that's 6 for Pope, 4 for Moore, and each of them averaging right around 31, 32 yards per kick. Thank you, Gary Moore, for your help. Quick hitter, TJ Carrington to the 47. Pickup of about 4. Second down and 6. There you see the score, 14-10, less than a minute to go in the third quarter. A lengthy delay while Dion Merrill was attended to, and again, we do not know his injury status, but we are told that he had some discomfort in the neck area, and certainly with precaution being always the first word, they wanted to make sure he was okay. Philip Moore completes the pass for a first down. Gentry Harrelson down to the 40-yard line of Kecoughtan.
And we got, looks like a penalty against the Phantoms, clipping, and that's the preliminary call. And it'll go from the spot of the foul, Tim.
See if we can't pick up that clip right at the end of the play. We're going to watch and see Philip Moore fake the handoff, and then
Clipping
the sophomore quarterback
against the offense. Replay, second down.
See if we can pick up the clip in here. Still don't see it.
I don't see the clip.
Well, it was outside of our picture.
Yeah.
Okay. And that is the end of the third quarter as they mark the ball at the 44-yard line. It'll be second down at about 9 for the Phantoms, after that big gainer was wiped out by the clipping call.
Well, I am really impressed with Philip Moore, Tim. He's got an accurate arm. Phoebus is not known for the passing game. They're known more for the running game. But he has really ignited this Phantom team that looked a little sluggish the first half. Come back to second half, and they definitely have the momentum.
You know, I think you also have to stop and give some credit to the offensive line.
Oh,
for
absolutely.
The Phantoms have created holes for Chris Moore to gallop over 150 yards, 84 and 47 on just 2 of those carries.
Well, let's talk about some of those people, Tim.
And they've given time to Philip Moore, the sophomore quarterback, to get those throws away. You made a very good point in your statement that Moore was hanging in there and letting that ball go, knowing full and well he was going to get hit most of the time.
Well, let's talk about it. We got center, we got Cedric Brown. At the guards, we have Eric Clark and Stephon Jamerson, and at the tackles, Brian Pritchett and Sean Rowley. Those are your interior linemen on that Phantom team.
Second down and 9. Ball is loose, picked up by Moore. Trying to get a block, he did, and he races for the near sideline, and Moore is driven out of bounds at the 40-yard line, and a late flag goes down.
It looked like contact was made outside the no flag.
I'm going to say no flag. So I thought it was
you know, that's one of those times where your momentum, how do you stop? But I don't know. That's a great job by Moore, because the ball got knocked out of his hands and he picks it up, gets a great block for number 55 right there to help him get around the corner.
He's got pretty good quickness too. Now he's in bounds and he is hit just at the out of bounds.
Yeah,
pretty close. It was close. Could have been a call. No call was the actual call that they did, and he does get a first down at the Kecoughtan 40-yard line. Big pickup for Philip Moore. Inside handoff for Chris Moore. Chris Moore gets 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8. We're inside of 12 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. 11:37, clock is moving. Phoebus has never led in this ball game. Kecoughtan scored the first 2 times they had the ball. Scored touchdowns and led 14-0 at one point, and Phoebus has battled back with a 37-yard field goal and a 6-yard T.J. Carrington touchdown run to make it 14-10, and now they've got the ball in Kecoughtan territory. Chris Moore still on his feet for a first down.
Tim, he is a hard young man to bring down. Talking to Coach Kozlowski and Mike Smith about Chris Moore, and they say he is probably one of the toughest runners to bring down, and he gets to the line of scrimmage so quick, as you can watch right here. He just runs out of some tacklers' hands and keeps his feet moving, and that's why he picks up the first down.
Michael Bryce of Kecoughtan, the big senior tackle, 6'3", 295, slowly leaves the field. He was shaken up on the play.
Oh, tell you what.
But he is all right, and we're happy to see that he is okay. But he is a big, big dude.
He hasn't missed many meals.
So we're glad to see him come off on his own steam. First down at the 28. This is Carrington for maybe a yard to the 27. They may even give him to the 26. But a tough couple of yards. They do mark it at the 26. So a gain of 2 for T.J. Carrington. Carrington, 9 carries on the evening, 19 yards total. Not one of his greater numbers evenings, but he's had some good play. 2nd and 8. 26-yard line. Over the middle, completes the pass to, again, Chris Russell, number 8. Philip Moore has another first down for the Phantoms.
I am impressed with Philip Moore. What a job that young sophomore is doing. Woo.
Got it marked at the 16, first and 10.
You fake that inside dive. Your linebackers got to respect that move of Chris Moore. And Philip Moore just raised up and hit his tight end or his receiver.
5 out of 6 for the young quarterback. Chris Moore gets the call. Russell 3 catches of those 5 passes. So the Phantoms mixing up their attack now. They're passing and running, and doing a pretty good job of it down to the 14. It's 2nd down and 8. 2-yard gain for Chris Moore. His totals now approach 166 net yards for the night.
and the bulk of that came on 2 runs. And
he's done a good job all night long, too.
Yeah, but it set up 2 scores.
Yeah, that's right. On the opposite play, this is Philip Moore struggling close to the 11-yard line. Going to bring up a 3rd down. They need to get all the way down to the 6 to get a first down. So it'll be 3rd down at about 5.
Big play here for the Phantoms. You got to get very close to picking up the first down to keep your momentum going. At this point, a field goal would still leave you behind by 1 point.
8:45 remaining in the fourth quarter. And it is moving. Inside handoff. Carrington is stopped cold on a good defensive effort by the Warriors. And again, on the bottom of that pile, big 74. The man I mentioned earlier, Michael Bryce, who had limped off the field, has returned, and he was there, and Carrington had nowhere to go.
Well, he's done a good job all night, Tim, and watch this thing. This is a counter play, and Carrington just runs into a stone wall, and Bryce was one of them, and I can't pick up the number of the other young man, but he was going nowhere, and Phoebus is going to go get the points, and that's not a bad move.
Jeff Herman will try it'll be a fake. Philip Moore passing for the end zone. Has he got it? No, incomplete. Chris Moore, the intended receiver, but the pass is incomplete, And the Warriors will take over on downs. So they'll take over at the 11-yard line. On downs will the Warriors. A fake field goal. Philip Moore rolling to his right, looking for Chris Moore in the end zone. Just couldn't quite get it to him.
That was a good try on both parts. Chris really tried to get to that ball.
The Warriors now will have the ball with 7:52 remaining, leading by 4. This is Tony Jordan, and Jordan gets maybe a yard.
And guess who's on the bottom of that pile, Tim? Stephon Jamerson.
Yeah, he's been there all night long.
It's going to be tough picking the player of the game
the
tonight
player of the game.
for Phoebus, I tell you.
That's tough, because how do you deny Chris Moore with 166 yards, by far his best night, and then you have young Philip Moore coming in here and throwing 5 out of 7 pass completions. The flip goes to Damon Roberts, and right now the defense for the Phantoms is all over the Warriors.
Well, you see they're playing with a whole lot more enthusiasm and confidence right now than they did during that first half. Kecoughtan just seems to be throttled. They can't get their offense moving. They seem to be going backwards. And watch the replay here. Tony pitches the ball to Roberts, and he's got nowhere to go. There's Carrington coming up. Another possibility for play of the game is T.J. Carrington.
Both teams have their timeouts remaining, each with 3 left here in the fourth quarter. The ball is marked at the 11-yard line. It's 3rd down and 10 for the Warriors. They send 2 wide receivers to the near side. Macy Brooks is one, and
Kecoughtan's going to take a
McGee
timeout.
is another. And the Warriors will call a timeout, stopping the clock with 6:25 remaining.
There you see some of the crew that works there with Larry Malloy keeping this field in excellent shape.
And they do a great job. This field, we've been inundated with rain. You may recall Thursday all day long. It was just a torrential downpour Wednesday night and Thursday, and the field drains very well. The design of Darling Stadium, state of the art, and they certainly have done a fine job, and Larry Malloy and his crew, in making this surface as good as it possibly could be. 6:25 remains. The game has been an interesting one in that Kecoughtan scored the very first 2 times they've had the ball, and then the Warriors have not been able to move it much against Phoebus since then. While the Phantoms have had good chances, they have also given the ball up at inopportune times and committed errors when they shouldn't have. Well, that's the nature of high school football.
Well, the first half was all Kecoughtan except for the last few seconds, and the second half has been all Phoebus. And look at that defense, Tim. They are just swarming on the Warriors, and that's going to bring young Mr. Todd Pope back in to get his left foot into action.
Damon Roberts, the ball carrier again for the Warriors. And, you know, let's give Phoebus a lot of credit, too. They're playing without their starting quarterback, Torrey Edge, who was injured and did start the ball game, but came out after a very brief attempt at playing. So they've been playing with some tough situations, and Reggie Harris has not been available for them this evening, and he's been a pretty key player throughout the year. Again, the Warriors, or rather the Phantoms, having a horrible time fielding those Todd Pope punts.
You see, that ball went up as high as the lights. I tell you, Todd Pope he has done a great job of not allowing the Phantoms any chance to return a punt. One time he kicked it and it bounced, and they ended up recovered the ball because it hit one of the Phantoms. So you don't see the punter as a bigger part of the game as he has been tonight for Kecoughtan.
Philip Moore back, short drop, passes, and it is a completed pass right at midfield. Pickup of only, well, let's call it 3.
That's a tough pass to throw Even for the pros, because you got to get that out there fast and hard so that you can pick up some yard. It was a little low. The young man did catch the ball. Watch on the replay. And that was number 2 for the Phantoms. That's Gentry Harrelson.
Second down and 7 for Phoebus, trailing by 4. Philip Moore still has the football. The young sophomore quarterback close to the 45-yard line. It'll bring up a third down and about 2. Closer to 3, depending on exactly where they spot the ball.
Well, they spotted just short of the 45.
Well, watch this again. You'll see a fake handoff and then the option play. Moore really not looking to option the ball back, though. He was playing it all the way. Tony Jordan, his counterpart on the other side, the quarterback for Kecoughtan, also playing defense. Good two-way player in on the stop. Third down and about 2. And this is T.J. Carrington.
Well, now I'm going to ask you for your eagle eye opinion here.
Well, I got to wait for them to unravel it a bit here. I think he's going to be, let me see, get out of the way there, fella. He is going to be about a foot short.
Okay. Well, young Mr. Philip Moore is just a sophomore, Timmy. Is 6'1", 185, so you know he's going to grow a little more and put a little more weight on. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with on the peninsula. He's really shown himself well tonight.
Why they bother? Why they bother?
Why do they bother? Just call up here. Tim will tell you how short it is.
So it's about 6 inches. Actually, it's way off. It's about 6 inches short.
You were way off.
It's about the length of a hot sausage here at Darling Stadium.
No wonder you got that down right.
That's right. Thank you, Scotty, for reminding me about that. Next time you're out at Darling Stadium, I encourage you to try the hot sausage. Boy, I tell you, I had one before the game, and my mouth's still burning 2 hours later. Fourth down, and the Phantoms are going for it. Moore, quarterback keeper, he's got it.
Yes, nice call. Just follow your offensive line, and that's exactly what young Philip Moore did that time.
So the Phantoms now with 3:40 remaining, and they still have their 3 timeouts remaining. Kecoughtan has 2 timeouts left. Ball is marked squarely at the 42-yard line. The Phantoms need a touchdown or 2 field goals. They cannot win or tie with just a field goal. And Moore is going to be sacked. In on the play, number 81, Terrell Porter.
Big number 76 had his hands wrapped all around him also, Tim. Marcus White.
So the Warrior defense coming up big when they needed to.
Watch this. The big number 76 will look like he was the initial.
I think you might be right. At the 46-yard line, second down at about 14. Moore rolling, looking, throws, and it's underthrown. Tony Jordan batted it away at the last second, but the ball underthrown.
Well, Phillip had a lot of pressure and threw the ball with too much height and that's why it ended up being short. But now this brings up a third and long. Now if you're Phoebus, you hope you can break Philip Moore for another long one. Watch the pass, and way short. And Tony Jordan just goes over and gets a hand on it, knocks it down.
Third down and 14 to go. Moore over the middle and incomplete.
Intercepted,
in fact. Chip Laws. The intended receiver was Chris Russell. He and Philip Moore have had good magic up till now, but this time, Chip Laws with the big INT. Are you going to work your way down to the sidelines?
Well, I might go down there. I don't know if I'll get attacked if I'm down there or not, but I will tell you, I think I will have to go with Chris Moore, Tim. Being a senior and having just an awesome game tonight,
Look at that great catch by Chip Laws on the replay.
Yeah, Todd Pope is my selection on the other side because of his kicking ability. He's really done a good job.
I think that's a good point, and I think we should do that. I think not enough attention is paid to that aspect of the game, but he has truly kept Phoebus in the hole with his kicking. That's a good point. The Warriors now with 2:15 remaining in the ball game run the ball, and the Phantoms are there to stop the play. We invite you to stay tuned as Bob will head down to the sidelines and hopefully have some post-game interviews with the players of the game if possible. Chris Moore, certainly Stefan Jamerson, TJ Carrington, Jeff Herman, and Philip Moore. Philip Moore would be my unanimous second choice with his fine effort, the sophomore quarterback coming in tonight in place of Torrey Edge, the starter who was injured. We see if we can't get, we have a flag down on the play as Jordan struggles across the 40. Flags on the play.
All right, Tim, I'm headed down.
All right, we'll look for you down on the sidelines. And again, we remind those of you watching that we will have all of the halftime ceremonies, and it was a good halftime entertainment by the Phoebus High School Marching Band. That will be coming up at the conclusion of our ball game. You can watch all of the halftime activities at the conclusion of this game. Watch for your son or daughter in the band or wherever he or she may be participating. But that will be forthcoming. Listen to Bill Dozier.
Everybody wasn't set. Legal motion against the offense. Replay.
Second down. Now they will restart the clock. That's one of the differences in high school ball, that after a penalty like this, they do restart the clock. We're inside of a minute and a half. Phoebus still has 3 timeouts remaining, and we'll certainly see them use them shortly here. Second down at about 13. Jordan keeps, and Jordan will have a first down all the way down inside the 30-yard line, and late flags go down. We have a dead ball foul, unnecessary roughness against the Phantoms. So it looks like maybe some of that frustration level being stretched to its limit. We get a chance to watch the replay. Here's Jordan. It looks like he's bottled up nicely there. Carrington had a shot at him, but he uses his good speed to break into the open.
Dead ball, personal foul against the defense, first down.
And watch as he goes down here, and I believe we're going to see, a pretty late hit, a shot that was a little bit late, administered to the Kecoughtan player, and the penalty is marked off against Phoebus. With 1:10 remaining, they have a first down at the 15-yard line, and with just 1:10 left, Phoebus calls the first of their 3 timeouts. So should Kecoughtan hold on and win this game, and a lot of people have said many times that Kecoughtan is...
Well, I don't know if you can hear me or not, Tim. I don't mean to talk over you, but I cannot hear you.
Then don't.
And it's getting a little chilly down here, and there's a lot of dew on the ground, so it's going to make it a little more slippery. We'll try to get to talk to the coaches after the game's over. I'll try to get over and talk with Coach Kurt Newsom.
As I started to say, Kecoughtan, one of the best 3-3 teams anywhere in the state of Virginia, and certainly in the Peninsula District where you have such tough teams as Phoebus, Warwick, Bethel, and Hampton. They will go to 4-3 if they can hold on here. This is Tony Jordan. And the second of 3 timeouts called by the Phantoms as they desperately hope to stop the clock and have some time remaining in their efforts to win this ballgame. One minute exactly remaining in the fourth quarter. Kecoughtan's 2 first possession touchdowns standing up. The Phantoms scored a 37-yard field goal. Jeff Herman kicking it with no time remaining on the clock at halftime. And a touchdown gives them 10. Let's go ahead and take a brief timeout. We'll return to Darling Stadium with the conclusion of tonight's ball game after this timeout. Jordan with 2nd down and 9 simply goes back and drops to his knee, ending the play, and Phoebus now with one last timeout. It is 3rd down and 14. The clock is running. The ball has been set to play. 3rd down and 14. The Warriors will use as much of the time as they can. There you see the scoreboard. The story, visitors 14, that's Kecoughtan. And I have a feeling that Kecoughtan will, in fact they do, simply take a 5-yard penalty for delay of game.
Delay of game. It's the offense.
So they'll mark off 5 yards. Phoebus has 1 timeout remaining. And it is 3rd down, and it'll be 3rd and 19.
Delay.
Look for the Phantoms to stop the clock after this play. 4th down. Jordan drops to one knee. The whistle sounds, and Phoebus calls their last timeout with 12 seconds remaining. Again, we invite you to stay tuned as Bob will seek players and coaches as they may be available at the conclusion of the ball game. Our players of the game again, Chris Moore, a spectacular evening for Chris Moore, 166 yards on 9 carries, an average of just over 18 yards per carry. Chris Moore of Phoebus is our player of the game, and our player of the game for Kecoughtan is Todd Pope. 7 punts, as long as 40 yards, and his hang time was such a very important factor in not allowing the Phantoms to return the kicks. They simply gave his special team enough time to get there and stop the play. 4th down, no timeouts remaining for the Phantoms. And the play out is going to be called right there. With 9 seconds left, all possession will change. They will not start the clock until the yard markers are in place. One last chance. Moore throws it up for grabs with 1 second remaining. 1 second left on
Tim,
the clock.
I don't know if you could see that or not, but the Phantoms did not get their ball in. The officials started the clock before the Phantoms could get their ball in. Each team has their own ball that they use on offense. And with 1 second to go, you know you're not going to see anything but a Hail Mary type of pass.
Well, the Phantoms don't need to go without a huddle. They have their full 25 seconds to huddle up and discuss the play, but they don't. And Moore, along the line of scrimmage, will run with the ball, and that will be the end of your ball game, as he will be out of bounds with no time remaining. So again, they could have taken a little more time, Phoebus could have, to discuss and develop that play, but they really had little or no chance of making it work, as they had so far to go and no timeouts remaining. So the Phantoms suffer their 3rd defeat in a row after starting out the season 4-0. They have run into Hampton, Bethel, and now Kecoughtan.
Tim, Kurt Newsom is going to talk to his team first, and we'll get up with him.
All right, Bob, thank you. And the Warriors of Kecoughtan now with 2 victories in a row. They've had a win, a loss, a loss, a win, a loss, a win, now 2 wins in a row with this major victory over the Phoebus Phantoms, as both teams will fall, or at least Phoebus will fall to 4-3 overall, and Kecoughtan will improve to 4-3 overall. A very hard-fought ball game, and certainly a game that had its ebbs and flows. But and again, we certainly hope that Dion Marrow The young man who was injured for the Phoebus Phantoms is going to be all right. We know he left in an ambulance, and we certainly hope that his injuries are not major. Our best wishes go out to that young man. So both teams have given the congratulatory handshakes at midfield. Another thing you like to see, the sportsmanship being displayed by both teams. A hard-fought game for both teams. And a good victory for the Warriors, 14-10 over Phoebus. And you may have heard Bob say a moment.
Tim,
Go ahead.
I got Chris Moore here. Chris, you had a lot of yardage on just a couple of plays, but your offensive line did a great job for you tonight.
For the most part, but sometimes we have mental breakdowns. We can't have that.
Well, I understand that, and it is tough to lose the game, but I was impressed with your quarterback. Young man come in. Philip did a great job, but you guys never gave up.
No, we didn't. See, it kind of hurt us with losing our quarterback, but he came in and did a good job. We should have won the game.
Well, listen, you're a player of the game. We'll have a shirt and a plaque for you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot, Chris. Tim, let's go back up to you.
All right, Chris Moore with 166 yards on 9 carries tonight. His longest, an 84-yarder. And certainly his disappointment is quite obvious. He would have traded all those yards in for the victory, I'm sure. But it was not to be for the Phantoms tonight. The Kecoughtan Warriors, who have had a tough season, they have won games against good teams and lost against teams that I'm sure Kurt Newsom would agree they shouldn't have lost. They feel very badly about losing to Menchville, a team that is a good team, but they should not have lost them. And then they gave number 1 Hampton all they wanted in a 13-7 defeat. Kecoughtan Warriors thinking of no defeat at this point. They're looking about a victory. And Todd Pope and
Coach, congratulations on the win.
Thank you. You know, Phoebus is a good football team. We felt like they played so well against Bethel last week and didn't get a good deal on that. And anytime you can beat Phoebus, you beat a good team.
Well, and I tell you, they didn't have the starting quarterback, and the young Philip Moore did a good job.
He's a good kid. Phoebus is a well-coached football team, and they get after you, and it was big for our kids. It's like 2 different football games. We won the first half, and just by a little more than they won the second half.
Right. Well, we're impressed with your punter. I mean, I've never seen a ball, he kicked the ball as high as he did.
He did a good job, you know, and we had to punt so often tonight. He's not really used to that because we hadn't had that dilemma, but he did punt the ball and get us out of some big holes.
Well, congratulations
Thank
on
you
the
so
win,
much.
Coach.
Appreciate it.
Good. Let's go ahead and talk with Todd. Todd, awesome job of punting tonight.
Thank you, sir.
How do you work on that? I mean, you got the ball so high, the hang time, the other team didn't have a chance to run the ball back.
That's what we needed to do. We needed to get the ball downfield to where they could not run it back, and that's what we did.
Well, you did a great job. We picked you as player of the game. We're going to have a plaque for you and a T-shirt.
All right, thank you, sir.
Good enough. Congratulations on the fine win.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Tim, let's go back up to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. And our congratulations to Kurt Newsom and his football team and staff on their 14-10 victory over the Phoebus Phantoms. And a game well fought, well played by both teams. It was just a matter of a little too much Kecoughtan Warriors in the end. All right, that's going to do it for us. The final score again, Kecoughtan 14, Phoebus 10. For Bob Hintz, this is Tim Cole and the entire crew. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.
Your Channel 5 halftime announcer. Taking command of the field is the Phoebus High School Marching Phantom Band under the direction of Mr. Al Morris and drum majors Omar Dickinson and Sean Brown. Their performance will include the following selections: To Be Real, Easier Said Than Done, 6 Minutes to Show, a tuba feature, Big Bad Boomin' Basses, Nice and Smooth, and we'll close with the Phoebus Fight Song. Now, sit back and experience this evening's exciting performance.
Try to do the woolly ball.
Scotty, you ready for us? All right.
Hope that you have enjoyed this evening's halftime performance. Channel 5 invites you to watch next week when we will showcase another talented Hampton City Schools band. I am Karen Schaffner. Good night.